For you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on second and less than a yard.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. 26 Mike. 26 Mike. Hey, 59. Slam. Hey, 31.
To throw is Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Watch the edge. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 31 yards there to first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Here's Trubisky. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. From the shotgun is Trubisky. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, but it'll be second and goal. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again, but now it's third and goal. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here.
No.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, The good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second down now, it's Miller. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Come on.
On 1st and 10, Watson steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
54.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson, and he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson with a give to Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 40 now on second down. Trubisky nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Hey, 7, 61, matchbox play.
Watch it. He's coming. We got double up. Chance.
Yep.
Go get him.
Topper, shoot.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On second down, it's Miller. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
On 1st down, Watson, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Hey, Charlie.
41's the mic. He can't hang.
Get it.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Come on,
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Yeah. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. The fly route works for the TD ground.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Watson on 3rd down. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Fielded at the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time...
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
60 Pittsburgh. Hey, Haywood.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check 41. It's going to be a...
They go play action with Trubisky. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Come on, Trump. I know he ain't got it. Mike 3. Mike 3. Hey, 31.
After the interception, here's Watson. They'll find Miller. That's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mike 3. Combo. Cut. Hey, if you kill it, motion me out.
On second down now, it's Miller. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Coming to you. It's a party now. Mike 3. Combo.
Now Watson to throw on third down. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 46-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He'll buy some time right. He'll run it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points.
Bears 24, Texans 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, but
and a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
To throw is Watson. It's complete to Hopkins.
Watson's pass complete to DeAndre Hopkins. A big gain on the play, but it's...
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 3, 6, pull it back. Hey, defense.
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And now he'll tuck it and run. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Now a stoppage here for an injury. And, oh, boy, that looks to be the quarterback, Watson. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1's Mike.
Now it's Trubisky. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their 1st-round pick. His first NFL sack. I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
To throw, Kessler, and some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run with Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And this will go for 5 up to the 33. And this is picked up by the Bears.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Watch the pass.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Kessler. It's complete. It's Miller. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
When a linebacker is able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
Get it.
4th down. Here's Kessler. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
64,
And the Texans first down.
Mike 3. And let's get this.
0-0, Mike. Ready?
From midfield, here's Kessler. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Got it.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Bravo.
0-0, Mike 3. Get that clock.
On 2nd and a long way to go. Kessler. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Trubisky, letting one go deep for the end. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Play action. Now Kessler. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here we go, here we go. 90, Wolf.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Go, go.
26,
Shoot.
They go play action. Kessler. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Shedding through the defense. Buying time to his left. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
From just shy of midfield, Kessler, he's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no